All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Go! This is the podcast!
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and
podcast.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey everyone, welcome to Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with the number 2. My name is Tiago D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
All right, guys. Something
right.
serious is happening in the film world.
Yo,
I know.
yo, drop it on us, son.
Craziness.
Drop it on.
serious shit's going down, motherfucker.
Drop the bomb.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm cautiously trying to get
I'm
to
not
this
cautious
film
at all. I'm like,
to be released
I
right
give
now.
I give myself.
I don't know.
I give myself completely and wholly.
You're not cautious?
Right.
Linda Hamilton coming back for the Terminator.
It's not James Cameron. He is a producer, yes.
And producer,
he's
story,
like
and
he worked on the story,
and
but
supervising.
still.
Like he's overseeing it. He's very much involved with this one, though. The rights have reversed to him.
So you should
it's
explain
his
to
baby.
everybody.
Okay, so they finally released photos, or I guess maybe they were.
Wait.
Snapped behind this. I don't even think they were like officially released photos.
Oh,
but they were.
yeah.
They look like more like paparazzi type photos
Yeah.
of Linda Hamilton on set.
It was the grip
as
guy.
Probably as Sarah Connor from Terminator. She looks fucking great.
How many people have played Sarah Connor after her? In Terminator 2?
Only one in the
Amelia
show.
Clark.
I gotta say,
Oh,
no.
It's a
nah.
TV show.
I gotta say, the
TV show, and
TV
that's it.
show, that was
She
a
didn't come back for
great
3 or
show.
4.
That was a great show, and they canceled it. I have no clue why they
Sarah
canceled it.
Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
It was actually really good.
I
actually really
didn't
good
watch
show.
it. I didn't watch it.
I thought
it was a cool idea.
Summer Glau from
Firefly.
Firefly fame.
Wasn't
I say that 5 times.
It was a great show, but I don't know why.
Firefly fame. Firefly fame.
Anywho, it's kind of the Fox thing. The Fox does 3 seasons of a great show, and then they just
Cancel it.
They
cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Simpsons and Family Guy. All right,
They
so
canceled Family Guy, but they brought
did.
it back.
They brought it
yeah.
back from
The fans.
yeah,
Went
they
crazy.
went nuts.
Yeah.
And
Was
especially
he
the
trying to mock
seasons
me?
was after
Wait,
it
was-
came back.
was he
It was
just trying
several
to mock
years in
me?
between. He was.
Yeah, that was stupid.
This guy, yeah.
'Cause he
But
named
they
2
have
shows.
canceled a shit ton
It's so
of great
stupid.
shows.
You're still on it. I'm past it.
Fox canceled
I'm over it.
Firefly. It was
What
only
is
like
wrong with him?
8.
Yeah.
They only aired like 8 episodes or
Yeah.
9, but they ended up filming like 13 or
Yeah.
something.
But are you still on this, Diego? Let's move on. Stop, man.
No, I'm on mocking
I'm
you
throwing
now.
shit.
I'm off of that one.
Wait,
I'm on
so
my-
they did,
throwing
but they
shade.
didn't reference her exist. They did reference her existence in Terminator 3.
They said that she died
Yes.
of cancer.
Okay.
Kind of a, anyways. They replaced,
So is
Edward
this new
Furlong
movie?
wasn't playing John Connor. This new one.
Oh, I thought, what's his
don't
name?
know.
Just to say, I thought
It-
Nick Stahl was great.
Yeah, I
as
think they're
John
doing
Connor.
what
I
they
thought
did
he
with
was really
Halloween,
good.
which they're just acknowledging that
first
it's a
two.
direct, yes, and
The
a
first
direct
two,
sequel.
yeah.
Which
I'm
some
okay with
people,
that.
some people have an issue with that, and I'm like, listen, man, I don't give a shit. Sometimes, like if it works.
Yeah.
And if it actually writes the series,
And they're
I'm
dealing
totally
with time
cool it.
travel. They could like act like those exist, but like have them go like alter the
Yeah,
timeline.
or even just like you could just
Yeah.
in your own head go, okay, well, there's time travel in this movie, so who knows what fucking happened. I mean, actually, the
Yeah.
events of Terminator Genesis show that things could have changed.
Yeah.
That she wouldn't have necessarily died.
I enjoyed Terminator Genesis.
I did
don't
too.
why
I know people didn't
shit
like
on
it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters and I was like, I'm down. I loved it. But this new one, I mean, I love Linda Hamilton. She's great in
I
the
haven't
first
seen
one.
her though
but
in anything. I
phenomenal
feel
in
like
the
she's just
second
kind
one.
of chilling on
Yeah,
the
I guess so.
sidelines. Yeah,
I guess so.
it's like what's her name from Indiana Jones?
Kate Capshaw in the second one,
No,
or
no,
Karen
no.
Allen? Karen Allen.
Karen Allen, yeah.
Yeah,
When she came
she-
back in Crystal Skull. It was
Yeah.
like she literally was at home, living in her suburb house or whatever, raising her kids and having her family. Like hadn't been in a film in years, and then Steven Spielberg called her and was like, "Hey, we're making it on Jones. You want to come?" And she's like, "Okay." And like,
I wonder if she's gonna be in the next
That's
one.
so
'Cause they're doing a
crazy.
5. I wonder if she's gonna be in that. I really want to see what they're gonna do. With
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna
'Cause
do.
he- 'cause
I
now
hope they
it's-
don't grab some like
He's 10 years
unknown-
older now.
I know, but
And
I
he was
feel
old
like
in the last one.
he looked great in Blade Runner 2049.
He did. Yeah. I mean, he's an
I
older
just
guy,
don't want
but-
him to grab some like young person to like replace Shia LaBeouf, and he's going to be the new kid. And
I'd rather them just close out the series. I don't need to see them passing the torch.
I don't
Indiana
wanna-
Jones is Indiana Jones. If you're going to reboot it later on with a different guy playing him, then
I don't
want
want
to
to see Indiana
That's
Jones
right,
in the
so-
70s. It's going to be like everybody doing drugs and.
So Linda Hamilton was on
Yeah.
a TV series on the Sci-Fi network called Defiance.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
I thought I saw her on.
That's
something.
right. Yeah, so
She has an identical twin
She's
sister.
kept working. She does. Yeah.
Which was in Terminator 2, that scene where she's fixing him up in the mirror or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
They
not
also
actually a
used
mirror.
twins for that one scene where the
Yeah,
cop.
the sheriff, and when he turns into him, or
Yeah.
not the sheriff, the cop, at the psych hospital.
yeah, and he like
And he in
sticks
the floor,
thing.
he comes out of the floor, and then he kills his own brother.
Yeah, that
those
was
are
crazy.
twins too. Yeah, they used a couple twins in that.
Well, it's easier.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
I guess maybe the technology wasn't going to be as good if they tried to do like a, put them both in the
James
same
Cameron,
scene.
even though there's a lot of CG in that film, he's a practical effects guy. Like all those truck scenes and everything, that's all real
That's
shit.
what's so great about it. Yeah.
That's what's so great. It's like that movie was revolutionary on CGI, but the amount of practical effects it uses, and he doesn't
you
use
see
it
the guy in the
beyond what he's supposed to
motorcycle
use it for.
fly into the what do they call that thing? The waterway.
Yeah,
or whatever.
the reservoir.
Yeah, the reservoir or
In
whatever.
LA.
Like all of those things are like, you could see the stunt guy that
Yes.
looks like Arnold or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you pause it, you could like see his face or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is the fact that somebody did this is
Yeah.
like nuts. To
Can
me.
we just like say like one of the things I love about that whole scene is just the way that Arnold uses that gun.
Yeah.
The way
Where
that
it's like
he
flips
yeah,
and
he
everything.
flips
He's
the
like,
shotgun.
boom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Double barrel
like he
shotgun.
pumps the
Boom,
shotgun
yeah.
by flipping it,
It's so
but he
good.
does it so beautifully. Like I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
how long while he rides a motorcycle too. I
Yeah.
don't know how long he practiced that for or whatever, but it's so awesome.
It's very mechanical.
It's very mechanical.
Which makes
it's
it-
beautiful.
yeah.
It's efficient.
It sells the character.
Yeah. Oh God,
Yeah.
man.
I think
it's
the-
things like that I just sit back and I'm like, I just love movies.
The
I
thing
just
that's
fucking love 'em.
interesting is I think the reason we see so much CG nowadays is not because it's easy, but because for it's safer.
Yeah.
It's a lot safer to have a whole CG explosion, CG craziness. Add the
Because
actor
you could
onto
change it
some-
later.
Yeah, you
if
can.
you
Well,
wanted to.
no. I mean, like physically safe. Like,
Yes, that's true.
it's putting the stunt guys out of business. Actually,
Yeah.
the whole stunt industry is probably losing a lot of work because they're
I love
not
the fact
doing
that
this
there's some
crazy stuff
directors
anymore.
that just don't go to that. They still respect the physics of the.
Well, yeah, like
using
Christopher Nolan's
realistic
one of them who likes to
items
use like
and-
practical effects. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah,
I hope
she looks great in the shots we saw. She looks like
She looks
badass
great,
Sarah
yeah.
Connor. I mean, she's older.
gotta
She's got
be
the
like-
silver
how old is
hair.
she now?
She's like 60. I think she's 61 now. She's 61.
Oh, that's not that old.
No, but it's 61. You know what I mean? It is senior age.
Yeah.
She's not middle age anymore.
And
And
fucking
she's got-
Arnold is like
definitely
how old
doesn't
is
look like-
Arnold?
She
70,
looks like
71?
70.
Yeah,
4?
he's in his 70s. He's
74?
just older than my dad. Yeah, so he's like 73, 74, something like that.
Yeah.
72, 73.
He's still doing action
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, but Sarah Connor, like, if you watch her in Terminator 2, she's very different from Terminator 1 to Terminator 2, right? In Terminator 2, she's like this badass, like, don't fuck with her. She's going to kill you. She can kick your ass.
Yeah, in Terminator 1, she's like the damsel in distress.
She is a little bit, yeah. And she kind of like breaks out and like she has to deal with it on her own at the end of the movie after Kyle Reese dies. But beyond that, yeah, she's pretty much Kyle Reese is protecting her, and that's the whole movie is protect Sarah Connor.
Right.
She's just waitress. She's a regular girl, kind of just living her life. Second one, she's honed herself. She's trained herself. She's lost her
Do
fucking
you think
mind.
the second one's better than the first one?
Do we need to do this?
Okay.
Do we need to do
No,
this?
no.
Because I'll do a versus fucking episode with you. Not today.
I
I
mean,
but I
it's-
will do a versus episode.
It is
on
Wait,
it.
do you
obvious
think
to
the first
all
one's better than the second
mankind
one?
that the second one is the
This
better
is what I'll
film.
say. The second
Anyone
one
that says
is
the
an
first
elevated
one,
movie, and I like the second one. Probably I would say it's a better movie.
Okay, good.
But
good. That's
I
it.
feel
No,
like,
we're
I
done.
feel
We're
like
done.
no,
We're
I
done.
feel like
That's
you
it.
can't just say that though.
You can
No,
absolutely
I feel like
just
you
say
have
that.
to qualify that and say the first one. It does not take away from that first one at all because that first
No.
one is
It established
at
the
times
universe.
underrated because of how good the second one is. But the first one is so fucking good. It's 1984, another one of these 1984 movies. Beverly Hills Cop, Ghostbusters. We were talking about. 84 was
Yeah.
just a really good year for
Yeah.
movies. But that first Terminator is definitely an indie film. They stole a lot of those shots on the streets without permits.
It
a lot of
established
guerrilla
James
film.
Cameron, too.
Yeah, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And even though
Arnold,
he'd
yeah.
done a couple things, this was really his claim to fame. And
I'd be
that
back.
first movie does not play around. It's very much like Blade Runner in that sense. It's not gimmicky. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be hokey in any way. It is just raw, straight, fucking cinema. Like it's not playing games. It's not trying to,
So is the
to
second.
appeal to the masses. Yeah, the second one is like that too.
I feel like the second doesn't compromise itself at all.
It doesn't.
Like,
And
there's
James
some
Cameron
intense
usually
moments.
does not do that. Yes, he has more commercial fare like Titanic and Avatar, but even those, like if you really look at the heart of those, he
Yeah.
could have sold out on more elements of those, and he didn't. But the
Bless
first
you.
Terminator,
Thank you.
I just feel like that gets lost in the conversation when we talk about Terminator 2, and I feel like you have to acknowledge
They're-
how good that film is.
they're
It's almost
different
like
films. They're very
for me,
different
it's like the same
films.
argument of Alien versus Aliens. Yes, Aliens is a better movie, better film. I do agree with that. I'll say that 100%. And I feel like let's not just drop the first movie out of the equation. Let's not talk about that because that first Alien movie is very different from the second one. Just like Terminator 2 are actually very different from each other.
It's true.
But I feel like you need to talk up that first film. Anyways,
All right.
Sarah Okay.
That was a very
Oh my
long-winded
gosh, yeah.
answer, but yes.
Yeah.
Would you
So the answer is yes.
expect any less?
Yeah, I'm gonna smack you in the fucking face. I'm gonna smack that.
No, it's true.
smirk
You
off your
should
face.
acknowledge
Nick
the existence
doesn't
of
come
the
with
first
short
film
wings.
because there wouldn't be a sequel if there wasn't a first Terminator or a first Alien or a first Ghostbusters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These movies wouldn't have sequels
Right.
if there wasn't the
It's
original.
all the point is that if you don't have one, you can't progress. That's just it. Anyway,
Exactly.
anyway,
Where's
back to,
my sequel to Masters Universe? Where's Dolph Lundgren? Where's Courtney Cox? You know?
Yeah, I would
That's
be
what I'm
interesting
saying.
if they brought all the guys back for one more film. Maybe
Where's
like,
Frank
what if-
Langella?
Yeah,
He's not. He's got like a few years left. That guy.
yeah. What if they all came to?
upsetting.
What if they all came to? The real world and all became actors, and they did like a sequel where they're all kind of like trying to get into the acting world, and he's like the original He-Man. He's like, I've retired as He-Man, and I'm an actor in LA now. Like, what if they did like a sequel like that, where they just changed up the genre, and they're just struggling actors in LA,
Oh.
like the
The
characters.
sequel to Masters
Master
Universe.
Universe
they're
is like
you know,
Master Universe casting call or something like that.
Right.
Like,
they try to get like commercials. And
yeah,
stuff
trying
like
to get
that, you know?
commercials, and because he has some action background and
Yeah.
stunt background,
they're on,
as
like-
an actual fighter, and so
They're on like
he's
some
consulting on like
YouTube podcasts
sword
and
and
stuff.
sandals
or,
flicks, and
no, they'll be in like some YouTube shorts or something like
Yeah.
that. You know, like,
Yeah,
this
why
is
not?
what you've like come to is
Yeah.
YouTube shorts.
why not? Okay, anyway,
Didn't
so
Dolph Lundgren, I read an interview, not to like totally stray,
But
because
to
that's
totally
what I'm
stray,
doing. They asked him about Masters Universe, and he said that was like one of his favorite movies to make. Actually, he said like he has fond memories of that
because it was early on in his career too, so I'm sure that was sort of exciting for him.
Yeah, and it's like one of the only. I kind of like, I guess, kid friendly. Maybe he did more kid friendly stuff later, like
Yeah.
little comedies. And
Is that
stuff,
what
But
Dwayne Johnson's doing? He's just enjoying the films that he's
oh my
making.
god,
Yeah,
that guy!
probably.
That guy's doing like 12 films a year. Like I don't know how he.
Well,
can
he's
be
just
as
Arnold
productive as he
Schwarzenegger.
is.
He's just Arnold Schwarzeneggering it.
Yeah.
That's all. Like Arnold was doing that.
I
back in
guess
the
Vin
day.
Diesel's kind of like not into that. He wants to do like his own.
Well,
Yeah.
Vin Diesel had
Because they
he has a
tried to like
business.
make Vin Diesel. Yeah, he has his own production house.
Yeah,
Like he's still trying to do this like
He has
Chronicles
two
of Riddick
companies.
thing.
He has a
He's trying to
production
bring that
house.
back.
He has a video game company.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like he's a businessman. So
Yeah. So,
Anyway, back to
real
her.
quick, back to the Terminator one. So James Cameron did say this about the new film. He says, "We're pretending the other films were a bad dream or an alternate timeline, which is permissible in our multiverse."
Yeah.
This was really driven more by director Tim Miller than anybody. Surprisingly, because I came in pretty agnostic about where we took it, the only thing I insisted on was that we somehow revamp it and reinvent it for the 21st century, which I know I'd heard him talk about before. He's like, this idea that the machines won. We think they haven't won, but in the 21st century,
Yeah, they
the
won.
machines won. Yeah. Look at what we have in our hands right now. We're glued to our cell phones. We're glued to our devices. We're glued to our electronics. Anybody who's listening to this right now is listening to this through machines. They've consumed
not the
us.
same.
But but in his mind, he's like, okay, we need to figure out how to link that into it. Like we were in a different world than we were in 84 and 91, which is when those earlier films came out. It's very different. We were still in the infancy in a bit of computer technology.
I could see like if some artificial intelligence like in present day became self-aware, like all it would have to do is send some code out to everyone's cell phone that would like overheat the battery and these things would blow up in everyone's pockets.
Right.
It'd be like mass casualties worldwide
Right.
of cell phones just blowing up, causing fires. Like it's like literally pocket bombs.
Right. But because
Samsung knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I sure do.
oh wow.
They sure do because of the thing when they're blowing up and they're killing
The
people.
Galaxy Note 7. It
Yeah.
was like a little bomb.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
I don't know why that's funny. That's not funny.
But what's his? But James Cameron he has a very engineer. He engineers movies. He's an engineer at heart and by trade, and so when he looks at these movies, he really figures out how it's all going to work and he stays within the logic of.
He got fucked by NASA. NASA agreed to allow James Cameron put like a camera on one of the rover missions that was going to Mars, and then like last minute they were like, nah.
Oh really?
Like he wanted to have a film camera
That would've been
that would
awesome.
like where they could actually like send back like high quality film
I'm
footage.
sure it wasn't going to be film.
No, it was gonna be film.
Film?
It would have taken
Digital,
a long time.
digital.
Digital, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was saying like it's
Not
like film, and
like
then
a
they have
movie
like a little
camera,
rocket
yeah.
that shoots back to
No,
Earth
no,
with
no.
little film canisters.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the data would have taken a long time to get back, but then we'd have actual live instead of like these static images or
Yeah.
whatever. Like we'd have this.
Who's
He was
gonna
going to
know
do a
the
whole
camera?
That'd be
documentary,
awesome.
like an IMAX thing, where it's like on the surface of Mars, and NASA was like, no, and I was like,
Why not, guys?
fucking NASA, man.
Yeah, I would have loved that shit.
I was like, this is James Cameron.
I know.
Coming to you, wanted to put a camera on one of your spaceships so he can make a movie about space travel. You would have gotten so much public support. and like more government money.
When
if
James
you had allowed
Cameron
James Cameron
comes
touch
to you
his
with
shit.
an idea, you say
stupid.
yes.
You go with it.
This is
Go with it.
classic NASA.
So Linda Hamilton, so she didn't return for the third one, Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines, or any of the later ones, and she actually said she said, I knew my character arc was so complete in the first two, and in the third one, it was a negligible character.
Yeah.
She died halfway through, and there was no time to mourn her. It was kind of disposable, so I said, no, thank you. She
Yeah.
was like, no, I'm good. And James Cameron wasn't involved with that film or any of the later ones. So,
Who did the third one?
I always forget who did. It wasn't McGee.
He did
but-
the fourth one,
Yeah,
Revelation.
he did Terminator
Or
Salvation.
Salvation.
But
Which wasn't bad.
all of them. Third one was the worst, quote unquote, in my mind, Rise of the Machines. But I did when I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, that was entertaining. But I never thought of it in the
Oh
same.
God, yeah, that actress played like the
pedestal.
2000 or 3000 or something.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
T2000.
Christina Loken. or
She like blew up
Christina
after
Loken.
that, and then I
Yeah.
haven't seen her in anything.
Yeah, I think she was a model first or something.
Yeah.
And then Nick Stahl played.
I always
John
liked Nick
Connor.
Stahl and
Claire
everything
Danes
he's
was
in,
in
yeah.
it.
Claire Danes
and
is
it was
great.
interesting because her character, something Brewster, whatever, sent the Terminator back.
Right.
So he only listened to her. He wasn't actually. He didn't have to listen to John Connor at all.
Yeah.
As opposed to the second film where he had to do whatever he said.
Right.
Right. But anyways,
I thought there was a truck sequence in there I thought was really well done, and a lot of it looked like practical effects. It wasn't. Do you remember that whole sequence
I
where
do.
they're like driving that big, whatever it was, 18-wheeler, or it was like a tow truck or something, or like had a crane on it.
Yeah.
All that stuff. I thought that was like kind of honing back to the second film of all those like
Big.
Yeah, those big, and it wasn't like
All
some
the
of
movies
it
had
was
these big
CG, but a
chase
lot of it
scenes.
wasn't CG.
Yeah.
It was
'Cause
it was cool.
The chase scene in the first film was pretty fucking awesome with Kyle Reese and like that.
Oh my
whole
God!
thing.
Yeah, he's on the little moped, and
Yeah.
and you know, as a kid, you're watching that he's in like the arcade, and
Yeah.
then he flees the
second one.
arcade.
That's the second one. Yeah.
And the second one,
I mean,
sorry,
they
yeah.
both have. They both.
Oh
have
yeah, and
great-
in the first one,
Yeah.
yeah. There's some great stuff in there. It's
Yeah.
like
And
I
the
don't
thing
even,
where they have
for
what's
that
his face on
budget.
the-
I don't know how they even.
Oh
filmed
man, when that
shit.
scene where they had what's his face Arnold on top of the hood of the car and his jacket is smoking.
Yeah.
Like that was actual. They put acid on his fucking jacket and just let it burn off. Like
Jesus.
I respect that. Some people go, "Oh, I can't believe it." I'm like, I fucking respect the shit out of that when the actor says yes and the director has his
Because
idea and they
it's-
just go with it.
it's one of those
or
things
is the
where it's
actor's
like-
idea first.
It's like they were all hungry.
Yes.
And then when they're no longer hungry, like that concept indicates so much to me. It's like when
Yeah.
an actor or director or writer is no longer hungry and they're just like they're good.
Yes.
They got like they've been established, they're recognized. They kind of sometimes they can become lazy.
Yes.
You know,
It's true.
they can become too safe, where they're like they start to fall in this like, well, is this going to make money? Is this going to appeal to a large enough
Mm-hmm.
audience? Whereas before, they're like they don't give a fuck. They're making something they're passionate about.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly
that's-
right.
yeah.
And that produces, you know, we've said necessity is the mother of all invention. Like that's just true.
Yeah.
Like when you need to, because it's do or die. You know, like James Cameron, it was do or die for him at that point. It was like if he really wanted to make it, he'd come off.
It's a
of
similar
Piranha.
thing for
Well, that's
Ridley
the first
Scott
one,
and Alien. I mean, he was like a commercial. He would make like television commercials.
Yeah.
He had done like hundreds of television
Thousands.
commercials, or
Yeah,
something like that. It was
thousands, he
like
said.
crazy.
That was what he did.
And then he got this opportunity to make this film, this low budget film.
Yeah.
And it just, you know,
Knocked
it's
it
cemented.
out the fucking park.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
everyone knows what
Yeah.
that film
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
You know, all the, you know, alien sci-fi movies that come since then, like, but that movie is its own
Yeah.
thing.
He
separate from all
reinvented
of
the
it.
idea of like sci-fi movies that weren't all shiny and polished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With Alien and Blade
Yeah.
Runner, within a
It's
3-year
gritty.
period, he basically was established this new
This dirty
wave of-
future, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
this dystopian, dirty
Cyberpunk almost.
Blade Runner was very cyberpunk, and Alien
Yeah.
had a little bit of that in it.
Also, the H.R. Geiger, who did all
the designs,
the
and the
designs of
drawings.
the alien.
Yeah.
Like that guy, yeah. Whatever's
Huge
going on in his
influence.
mind, I don't know.
Jesus.
This
It's
new
some crazy
Terminator
stuff.
has an
Some
interesting,
Matrix black leather shit. It's
Oh, yeah.
it's all
interesting
over.
cast to it.
What, the new one? The new Terminator?
The new one, yeah.
Yeah, who's in it?
I don't know if she was. Well, Arnold's coming back.
Yeah.
Which is good. But I don't know if she. If
God,
that,
he just
that girl
had-
from Blade
didn't he have a
Runner
heart attack?
2049
Arnold recently.
did have emergency heart surgery. Fuck.
I hope he's like good for the film. That's awful. I'm so
That
selfish.
is
I'm like
so inhuman
That
of
sounds
you.
like the worst thing ever. Like I'm like, Just live long enough.
Yeah,
to
I
make
know,
this
but we all thought it. That's what makes us all piece of shit.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, I really don't want
apologize.
him to.
I want him.
I love his work, and I don't want
his
that
health
to
should come
happen.
first. If
Who?
he Arnold, he had that like heart surgery.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. I think
So Mackenzie Davis.
Mackenzie Davis. I don't know if they ever
she's
nailed
great.
her down for the movie. Did they?
I don't know. So
She was in
if
talks
you,
for
If
it
you look at some
as
of
a soldier
the
or
stuff
a
is that
assassin.
she has no title to her part.
Right.
So she's there right now as part of the cast.
She was supposed to be. I think they said that she was supposed to be some sort of like. She's gonna be an adversary, like a villain, more like a human assassin.
Yeah.
Like almost like a Sarah Connor gone nuts. Like Sarah Connor's already gone nuts, but kind of that kind of character.
Maybe a younger version. I don't know.
Yeah.
Diego Boneta.
I like her though.
Boneta. He's also in there, but he
Was he
doesn't
in,
have a.
He was in. Was it Rogue
He was
One?
in a-
Rogue One. Was he the guy from?
No,
Rogue
no,
One?
no. He's not in a lot of stuff. A lot of these are very. If you look at their background in films, they're very like new to acting people. Like
Yeah,
all
well,
of
that's if you look at the earlier Terminator movies, especially the first one. Like they took their.
true.
You know, even Michael Biehn. Like they really kind of dug up more indie or people still trying to make a career.
Michael Biehn was always professional, so let's not go.
Was that?
He was always professional.
He was always no. He had to start somewhere, man.
Professional.
Okay.
Uh,
all right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Diego Boneta, isn't he from Rock of Ages? Yeah, that's what he was. From.
Linda Hamilton's from Maryland.
That's cool, man. Man, you are all over the place. You just go down this fucking black hole of phones. Anyways,
No, I was just looking to see.
I like
who
how
was
Arnold
listed.
Schwarzenegger.
The
I like
only-
if
the
you
only
look at
one listed
cast.
is- yeah,
It says Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator,
Yeah.
and then you have Gabriel Luna,
as a Terminator.
Terminator.
Yeah,
Not the
whatever that
Terminator.
means. Yeah,
Just
he's well. That's the thing. They're called Terminators.
Yeah.
what I'm saying
He's
is the
not the only
difference between
Terminator.
Arnold
T-1000's a Terminator.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's title is
The Terminator.
the Terminator.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
As opposed to T-800.
they have
whatever.
6 writers listed for writing credits. That's
That's amazing.
Doesn't mean anything.
I don't
You know-
know.
No, but that's not necessarily the official final writers because the movie hasn't even been finished filming yet. They don't know what the credits are going to be until the end.
Well, so
that's
who's-
just
who's
all the people
directing
who've
this?
worked on earlier versions of it. Tim Miller, who did Deadpool.
Yeah.
He did the first Deadpool, and
Yeah.
he was
Thor.
a stuntman himself.
Didn't he do Thor
No,
back-
he was a second unit guy on Thor: Dark World.
Dark World.
Yeah, but in terms of directing, I think his only real directing
Was Deadpool?
feature film was Deadpool. Yeah, that was his thing. He came out of stunts. He was a stunt coordinator for years. He did
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, second unit AD stuff. But no, his claim to fame was Deadpool. And then he came with the idea to James Cameron. James Cameron was like, this guy's on the same page with me. I love it.
I like the fact. I'm interested in the fact that David Ellison is a producer.
Oh yeah, did you see she
he
is
was
in it.
in he was in
Yes,
Fly
Mackenzie
Boys.
Davis.
Yeah.
He was in Flyboys?
He was in Fly Boys. He was one of the pilots in Fly Boys.
Oh,
And
really?
I love that film.
He's a producer on
He's a
Terminator?
producer on this.
Yeah.
He's a producer on a lot of stuff, I think, actually.
But real quick, let's I want to know what are you guys' thoughts on who what they're doing with the Sarah Connor character, because we saw the picture of her, which makes it look like where she's very similar to her second movie character, right? So she still looks like a badass military, fucking guerrilla, kill you on sight kind of a person, like she was in the second film.
Yeah.
So what do you think they're doing with her? Like they're going to not acknowledge the later films. We know that now. James Cameron said we're going to
Well-
think of those as a bad dream or an alternate timeline, which you could do. Because it's a time traveling movie, you could fucking do different versions of the story over and over.
I'm curious. I mean, if James Cameron is on board, that means that there must be an interesting story, because I doubt they're gonna replay they're still
thing, he's
trying
come
to
back.
stave off disaster.
Yeah,
you
the
know.
machines.
He
Might
won't
be
get
bad.
in it unless it's something that he can confirm that it's good.
Yeah,
I would
I don't
think,
think
yeah.
they're gonna have the same thing where a Terminator
Although
comes
he
back
hasn't
to
made
kill
anything
John Connor or
since
Sarah Connor.
Avatar, which was 10 years ago.
Well,
9
he's
years
working
ago.
on the other avatars.
Yeah, he's working
No, I
on
know,
up
but
to it.
still,
Well,
yeah.
he's done the deep sea stuff, and he's done other things. I
Oh
mean,
shit, he has that mini
sub-
series he
the
was
mini-
doing where he was interviewing all the directors,
Yeah.
the sci-fi directors. I
It's
really
on.
wanna
It's
see
still
that.
on.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
it's really good.
Yeah.
But what do we think Sarah Connor's going to be? Like, what do we think? Let's speculate a little bit here.
I think,
what are they going to do with her?
I think they're going to bring her back, and she's going to fall into the same character that she was in the second film.
Yeah.
Where she's going to be like this hard as nail,
Trying to stave off
badass.
the fucking turn of everything, like where everything's D-Day.
Possibly. I mean,
Judgment Day.
they could like start the film with just, I mean, this is all speculation, but I mean, they could start the film with kind of just like a summary of like what's happened in the last 30 years or however long it's been since the events of that film to this film. I don't know if they're going to bring back John Connor or if they're going to,
A lot of people play John Connor now, more than Sarah
well, but they're
Connor did.
acting like these other films didn't
Yes,
exist. So they may
exactly.
not, I don't think they're going to go find
Edward Furlong.
and bring him back for it. I mean, that would
That
be
would be
kind of cool if
interesting,
if that's like a secret. They're keeping it
I'm
secret.
thinking
Yeah,
the way-
that would be interesting.
I'm thinking
if
that
they-
Diego Boneta might be
John Connor.
John Connor.
Who? Oh. I mean, it has him listed as Terminator, but I guess that's
No,
true.
it does, no. Gabriel Luna is Terminator.
Who did you say? Diego.
Diego Boneta.
I'm sorry, those names sound the same to me, but I obviously fucked them up.
Gabriel
Diego
Luna's-
and Gabriel. Okay.
Yeah, Diego Boneta.
And they don't have him listed
Gabriel
as his character?
Luna. No, they don't have him listed
Okay.
as a
Yeah.
character.
It could be.
Could be.
So I'm
I feel
thinking
like
just
they've had
because
so many people play John
appearance
Connor,
and
I'm
what
being a
he's
little
done
bit
before.
like. I feel like if they're going to acknowledge the second one, Edward Furlong should play him. That's how I feel. I mean,
I don't even know if he still acts, right?
I guess. I mean, I know he was a little bit off, but it doesn't mean they can't.
It's tough. It's tough
It's
when
tough
you're a
because by
child.
this point, he's supposed to be a militarized weapon, and he's supposed to be really. In fact, actually, at this point, he would be more the guy that they had in the second film that played him for like 3 seconds in the beginning of the film. Remember they showed John
there's some-
Connor?
Oh, yeah.
And they showed him like as this fucking like he had the binoculars and he was in the war, he's in the future.
Yeah.
So they could.
You know, all it is that we've watched this film since what 1991 when this came
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I saw it opening night.
29 years. No, 27 years.
27 years.
So for the last 27 years,
July,
we've all
actually, so almost
watched.
exactly 27 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the last 27 years, we've all watched Edward Furlong play this character,
Yeah.
and so in your mind, you're like, it's like it can be jarring. I mean, obviously there have been other Terminator films with
Right.
different John Connors, but
Everyone actually, Christian Bale, Jason Clarke, Nick Stahl, those were all the guys that played
Yeah,
John
I
Connor.
thought-
They've been a different guy playing John Connor since the second movie. But I feel like if
I
they're-
thought Christian Bale was actually really good.
he was
in
great.
that one.
I think people shat on that more than it deserved. I liked Salvation. I didn't
Yeah.
have any issue with it. Yeah, but I'm really curious what Sarah Connor's going to be because she looks like the same kind of character, but I'm wondering what her role is going to be. I want to know what the fucking plot of the movie is going to be. That's really what it is. Then we'll
man.
know what she's doing.
Well, what do you think? We're
I think-
speculating.
Okay, let's speculate. Let's pitch Terminator.
I think that they're probably just going to rehash a similar concept as to what's going on. They've staved off like D-Day, and we're in the present world. So now, like you said earlier, there's cell phones. There's everybody's
Maybe they
connected.
sent
There's
AI
Wi-Fi.
back. Instead
They're going
of
to mention
sending-
Elon Musk and his talk about his anti-AI stance and all that shit.
Maybe it's going to get very
started all this.
cerebral.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're going to get very cerebral, or not necessarily cerebral, but maybe they're going to send back, instead of sending back a physical formed, like obvious Terminator or T-1000 or whatever, they're going to send back the AI, the consciousness, the learning
Ooh. Didn't they do
technology
that in Genesis?
software.
Maybe
Kind
No, that wasn't exactly that. That was it had
She
already
flips
developed
it.
in present. That wasn't sent
she
back.
goes to the future.
That would be interesting.
That's the only way that she can stop is to
But
go
think
to
of the time travel in those movies. They explain the
I know,
time
I'm just
travel.
being
There's
her-
only you only go one way, one time, and you can't bring anything with you. And that would mean we'd be
She's
stuck
never
in the
traveled.
future. Yeah, but and they never said that they can go forward. Only
You know
back.
what I would
Did they say
really
they can only
want?
go back?
You know what I want though?
What?
Like when you watch that first.
You can't go into the future. You can only go back. I think. Isn't that what he says?
I don't know.
No,
I'm
no,
not
go.
sure.
Yeah, I thought he said that.
Yeah. You know
Because
what?
you can only go where
you know
what
what I would
already
like?
happened, not what will happen.
Well, it doesn't matter. It was a joke.
I don't think.
Well,
that-
no, but it was a good point. I think that's something that we have to throw. We have to. If we're gonna figure out this movie, guys, we have to throw everything on the fucking table. No idea is a bad
We're gonna
idea.
when this film finally comes out, we're gonna come back and listen to this.
I
and be
wanna
like,
know how much we got
close were
right.
we?
Yeah.
What
I
I would
was
like to
right.
see is like them take. So the only thing in the second film that well, two things in the second film that really stood out as like sci-fi and futuristic is the fact that Arnold rips his flesh off and
Yeah.
shows his like exoskeleton underneath,
Yes.
and then the T1000
T-1000, yeah.
T1000 it would turn to liquid.
Yes.
So those two things are like fantastical, right?
Yeah.
Compared to modern technology, but like it would be great if they could make a Terminator film and just keep it super grounded as
Yeah.
fuck, like right now.
Things we know now.
Yeah, if you want to have like a
can
some
go a little out there
Terminator
with some shit, like-
and come back and have like that kind of
Yeah.
science fiction aspect of it, but like this when I watch
Which is
those
what
Terminator
Terminator 2
films,
is. It's grounded.
it's
beyond
grounded as
those
shit.
elements.
Yeah, it's like they're shooting
Yeah.
guns, they're dealing with explosions, they're flying helicopters, they're driving
Yeah.
18-wheelers. It's more like a chase film
Yeah.
than anything else. It's like they're on the run
Yeah.
from this guy to try and protect the life of this
And
person.
nobody's being
bring that back.
fantastical in their action except for the Terminators, which makes
Yeah.
sense because they're not human. But humans are limited by their human capabilities.
Yeah,
in
we've
that
already
movie.
had films that show the future. We have films that have like gone like super CG and like, you know, all this like fantastical stuff. And even in Genesis, there's like so much going on where they're like back and forth and there's like flying drone things and AI and consciousnesses and they're talking to the Cyberdyne thing. And
Yeah.
like,
It's
great.
gotten really out
Let's
there,
just
yeah.
let's go back and be grounded
Yes.
again. If James
What-
Cameron's coming back, have it be like a fucking, you know,
Okay.
like practical film. it takes place now
Yes.
and not
And
1991.
the Terminators
like
are the only
now.
fantastic idea.
Yeah, like what are
Yes.
like kids do, or what do people do now instead of going to like arcades? If you're gonna, I don't know if they're gonna have a kid in the film or not, but you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
kind of like show what people do that feels real and
Yes,
like
for
and like
now.
yeah, it doesn't feel out of this world.
Yeah.
but
So
like in this
because
world.
no ideas are bad ideas right now, I'm going to throw this out there. What if we find out Steve
Horrible.
Jobs, Bill Gates, and all these were sent back by fucking Skynet? Like, and they're
Skynet's-
actually they were tasked to create this attention consuming, fucking
Distraction.
controlling distraction filled fucking technology. Like they are fucking.
That's actually
Terminator,
pretty elite.
They were part of
That's
that
great.
shit. They came back to fucking trap us. But it was more insidious than anything. Because what's the most insidious technology you can have? You could want the one that you want, the one that you need, the one that you don't
Yeah.
realize is controlling you. You think you're still in control. That's how you get controlled.
That's
you
pretty
think
cool.
You
I like
still
that.
have your freedom, but your freedom's being fucking, nicked away
Yeah.
little by little. And these guys were always part of fucking Skynet. Now that's ridiculous. I don't think they'll go that way, or if they do, they would create different characters. It wouldn't actually be Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or, Wozniak even, any
Right.
of these guys. But that'd be interesting. Or like I said, if they send back the software or the AI, not necessarily a physical form thing to go back and just kill. They got smarter.
yeah.
They evolved,
That's
and they're like,
pretty
let's upload this content. Let's go back and put this in place to then start. And every phone is actually being controlled by Skynet. Like every part of this.
I feel like
The
they did
AI
that a
that's-
little
that's
bit
synced
in
into
Genesis,
everything.
though, right?
A little bit. It wasn't exactly
Because they were
that,
getting
though.
ready to like update everyone's phones with that new
Yeah,
software,
which
that
was
the
very much like
AI.
a
It was
like
the
Kingsman
same.
kind of a thing, where
The
everybody
countdown,
said
yeah.
yes. And that's different, though.
They're all going to download the new OS
Yes,
or
but
whatever.
what
It
if
was
it-
like iOS.
But what if it's
basically.
more insidious than that? It's not just like, everybody's getting on
not
the
the
same phone,
software, it's
because
the
not
people.
everybody's going to get on the same phone. But what if it was in every code? It was able to jump between. It was actually something that couldn't be traced.
As long
You
as
couldn't
they
just shoot it. You couldn't just shoot it.
if
Which
they
is what those
explain
other
it in a
movies
way
were
that's
about.
plausible, and then
Yeah.
the way they the way they show how it affects everybody
Yes.
is plausible,
and it
then
needs
I'd
to
be
get grounded and be an intimate story at the same time.
Yeah.
Because the first two movies are about shoot, shoot, bang, bang. Like that's really what it is. It doesn't get too heady. It doesn't really get into the AI shit and the idea that there's like this consciousness within the
supercomputer
thing.
learning machine.
Yeah. That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I just remember back in the the 2000s or whatever, all these prank calls, you would find them on the internet where somebody would like take all these Arnold quotes from Terminator 2 and then prank phone call somebody.
Oh my
and then
gosh,
he would
yeah,
just
I
be
had-
playing. I was like, all these like,
I just need them to
They were hilarious.
just tell
They
me.
were like, what?
I
What
just
did you
needed
say?
them to tell me how he got the Austrian accent. That's all I want. I want some explanation in this next movie of how they do that. Now,
They'll never do that.
Why are
Termi-
they talking British
Here's the
British
thing.
accent in space in Star Wars?
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
They're always
what about-
British,
What
yeah.
about yeah? Because
And,
a
like,
lot of it was done
Alien.
in England. But what about why in Genesis people say that this was explained, but it really wasn't. It looked like they were trying to explain it and they never actually explained it. Maybe I just have to watch it again. But they were.
It's
trying,
a very It's a lot. It's a headier movie than you think.
It
would
is
be.
actually, but like this whole idea, like weren't they supposed to explain why he always looks this, like why they always have different Terminators looking like this one guy, and it's based off this actual individual, Arnold. Like there was an actual human and a soldier that all these.
I think they do
these
address that.
Terminators-
That sounds familiar.
But they were supposed to, and I don't think they actually did, or maybe it was like just in passing.
That would be a
Genesis.
great storyline if they go back to that. She goes back and kills. Sarah
guy
Connor goes
that-
back and kills the guy who was the.
who became?
But at the same
Terminator.
time, they couldn't make it all about that because that wouldn't stop them. They'll just use a different, body. Like they'll
Would
just use a
they?
different image. Yeah, they're not going to just stop because like, oh shit, we don't have the big Austrian.
was something
guy.
about
Let's
that
get
guy.
somebody else. But yeah, maybe there's something about his genetics were
Yeah.
what informed
Allows the
their
ability to
exoskeletons
create, yeah.
or there's something about it.
War,
But
yeah.
I want to know more about that. Like, why the fuck do all these Terminators look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, other than the fact that that's the guy who's cast in the movie? Like, the first Terminator, the bad guy, the second one, the third one, all three of those are different Terminators. They're different because he was killed in the first two, right? He's destroyed in the first two. Third one comes back looking the same. Fourth one, they showed it. Remember the fourth one? They showed how they all look like that.
Well, I thought
He
that
fights
that
the
Arnold
CG
was like an
Arnold?
infiltrator or something. The reason they put the skin coat on him was because he was used to infiltrate like little pockets of the resistance.
Yes, right, but he always looked the same. They didn't create different ones every time. Like, remember the fourth one where he goes in and he fights the CG Arnold, And you got this idea that they had this factory of all these Arnolds.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? They
yeah.
didn't actually bring Arnold back, but they created the CG. They got this guy who had the same physical jawline of Arnold, and they put the CG mask over his face,
Yeah.
and he fought a CG Arnold, which I thought was kind of cool.
It was cool, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first hint at, this is what they always make him look like.
Yeah.
And then the fifth one, they had him, and he'd been there so long, he started to age or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's real human skin and tissue
Right.
over the exoskeleton. Anyway, so like I feel like they need to really nail that down a little bit with this next one. I'm curious. I really fucking want to know. I want to know if John Connor has a place in this, because they went Genesis. They went kind of wacky on the John Connor thing. They made him like a villain. He'd become kind of a Terminator in himself. Like
Well, they
part
just
of
keep
Skynet.
altering the timelines. That's
Yeah.
what they keep doing. That's the problem with time travel films.
You
It's
could do
like-
whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious does it without a fucking time travel. Somehow they figure out how to fucking keep telling these stories, but. Terminator, you can allow it because, again, they've established this universe in this world where time travel is possible, so therefore you allow more in your own head. You're like, that's cool because
they
you already
let-
told me
it's
that.
science
It
fiction.
felt
yeah.
limited in the first two. It felt
Yeah.
very limited, and it was like a one-time thing. It was a one-way ticket.
Which I love that.
That
Yeah.
to me makes it okay.
They couldn't send back an army.
Yeah.
They sent one fucking
When
guy.
you're like sending dudes back and forth and
Yeah.
all that, it just becomes like, oh, okay, well, it's Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make a mistake, go back checking. Make a
That's
mistake,
right.
go back and change. And now like the whole future's just fucked
Yeah.
up because you keep changing things.
And what
Yeah.
worked about this first two films, it was a singular story that was going to affect a massive event.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like massive storyline, massive stuff happening to affect this massive event. It was like an intimate thing. Like, you have to kill the future mother of the leader of the resistance. Simple. Like, that's it. And this guy got sent back to protect her.
Right.
And that's it. But if they didn't kill her, she was going to give birth to the leader of the resistance, who was going to pose an actual threat to the machines being able to take over the world. So that's a massive event informed by this one singular, timeline.
But
event.
how did John
Second one,
Connor
same
know
thing.
that his father was sent back unless it had already happened?
She had made those tapes for him too. Right. That's the fuck. Don't think about time travel
All
too
right,
much.
see?
Your
Now
mind
you
will fucking blow up.
That's
But
what
she
I'm
made the
saying.
tapes. She made the tapes for him, letting him know
It wasn't
that
the
was
first
his
time.
father. What did I just watch? Which was the whole thing. Oh, do you ever see the Final Countdown? It's a movie from 1981.
sounds very
Yeah, it
familiar.
had Kirk Douglas, Martin Sheen, and it's this idea that it's this destroyer, this big, huge naval ship, which
Yeah.
goes through this time portal in the ocean and ends up back the day before Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
And it just pops up, and now it's there, and they had this thing. Can they stop Pearl Harbor? Should they?
Yeah.
Or shouldn't they?
Right.
Right. So it's kind of like this whole thing, and then they end up. Anyways, they end up back in the real time, in the present day. But two people they left back there end up being the people who create the company that build the ship that then pay for their voyage to where they're going. So if they hadn't done that, they never would have gone back in time. So it's this whole looped thing. If they didn't go back in time and leave these people there who then grow up to become rich and build the ship and then send these guys out on this mission on that date to make sure they go back in time so that they can leave them there so that they can then later build the ship. It's a fucking loop.
Yeah.
It's like a
It
whole
doesn't
reveal
make
at the
any
end of the
sense,
movie. You
yeah.
don't even know that that's what's going to
There's
happen.
no genesis. There's no like starting point.
Right.
You can't. That's the problem with time travel.
That's the problem with time travel. And that's probably why time travel will never actually happen because it's too fucking.
There's point of origin.
It's too
like,
meta.
How do you? Yeah.
It transcends the physics because it's meta at that point. You're
Yeah,
talking
it becomes
about more spiritual.
magical.
Yeah,
Now we're talking magic.
We're
When
talking
we talk
magic,
time
and we're not
travel.
talking magic like I sent you a text through the fucking air or I talked to you through a cell phone. No, we're talking magic like not physical.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it defies.
I
the
feel
laws
like
of
time
physics.
travel could work as long as you didn't set it up like the person was doing time travel with a purpose.
Right.
Like that's why it works in Back to the Future.
I hope they
It was
stay away from
accidental.
time travel.
It's not. Yeah, it's not purposeful.
I hope in a way they. I mean,
You hope they
there's-
don't do time travel in the next
I hope
one?
they don't. I hope they don't. I mean, because
That would be interesting if they deep six the time travel story in general, and there was no time travel. They're just trying to work, past any, stop an event from
Well,
happening.
if you look
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
photos, I mean, they're filming it in like a populated city
Yeah.
in present day, and Sarah Connor's there, and Mackenzie Davis is there. So it's like it looks like maybe the whole film could potentially just take place like right now, like 2018, 2019,
Right.
whatever.
it'd be very interesting if they go back to Arnold Schwarzenegger being a bad Terminator.
That'd be interesting because he's been good
That
the
would
last
be.
bunch of films.
But
I mean,
like-
except for the Terminator Salvation.
It's like
was
80
kinda
years
bad.
old. Like I don't know how it's going to be all CG.
He could just again. He might not actually end up being a Terminator, or maybe he's the Terminator and they started with a human that they flipped.
Maybe it's like Aliens 3.
Maybe the first Terminator wasn't actually a fucking machine. maybe the machines somehow wielded a human or got a human on their side, and that was the initial quote unquote Terminator was a human. Could be.
So you know how the machines won? Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger being the good robot is the key to turning the whole event around and making the machines lose. Maybe Sarah Connor figures that out.
Him going back.
He's the key to
But
making.
they destroyed
he's
his
the key to
consciousness
change.
in like the second.
Well, but
They
he's
destroyed
in
the
this.
chip. There's one more chip left.
Yeah, he's in this
And
one.
he points to his head.
Yeah.
Goes
Yeah.
down with a
And he
thumbs
goes down
up.
with
And
the
that
thumbs up.
music that's playing. Do you ever see the alternate, the extended ending? The alternate ending.
Remember we saw the 3D.
Yeah, the 3D. That was actually really good. Do
should
you,
see
do you,
it.
you guys ever see the original ending? It's like an extended ending to Terminator 2. It jumps to the events like 20, 30 years. Like,
Oh, it's like a monologue or something.
yeah, it's an epilogue. Yeah, it's like 30, 40 years. Like basically
She's
where
like talking over it.
yeah,
Sarah
she's
Connor.
talking over it, and it shows her at the park.
Oh, yeah.
She's an old woman now, and Sean Connor's there, and he's like, buttoned down with his khakis. He's a father. He's pushing his little girl in the swing, and they averted the future destruction, and they actually did it. It closed out the whole fucking thing. If they had kept that ending, it would have been kind of weird, because then you couldn't have done a future Terminator. I mean, you could have because of the time travel element, but they kind of like closed out the Terminators, and he decided at the last moment to take that scene out and not actually play it, which is good because it's on the DVD, like you can watch it, but it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Right. I like how they end on the road at night.
Yeah.
Remember? The little headlights in the lines, the lane lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Because the robots could always just send somebody else back.
yeah, they can just keep doing it forever.
Yeah.
They can make fucking movies until we throw up. Like they can keep making Terminator.
That's the thing. I
movies.
almost feel like it's an unwinnable situation. When you have time travel, it's unwinnable.
Yes.
Even if
You
you
just have to just choose to end it.
Yeah.
Like Back
Not
to
if
the
you
Future.
pull
They
a
never
Die
did another
Hard
Back
and
to
kill the
Future.
internet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they never
wanna
did another
kill
Back to
the
the Future though.
internet?
They ended it 89. They haven't done another movie since 89. You know, or 90. I think is when the third one was officially released.
Other than that Facebook account that said they've been filming.
Oh my god, that was
Future
so
4 or
terrible.
whatever.
So
That was
real.
It's
so
like a Michael
fake.
J. Fox account.
Yeah.
And it was like, thanks, fans.
And
He
people
had,
were like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "You did a
20,000
little
likes or
investigation."
something.
Yeah, but at first he had like 100.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh my god!" It was such bad. Oh, to all
I'd
those
like
people
to
that don't
announce-
believe this is me, it was such bad. There was no. The grammar was all fucked up. It's
was
like, and
awesome.
also give me your email and your
If I-
address
and, like-
and your account number because I'm gonna send $10 million from this Nigerian prince I just met.
I know, right?
It wasn't that bad, but
was pretty
I
bad.
was like confused at first. I was like, they're so old.
Because people were sharing it.
Yeah,
oh
like,
they're-
yeah. Somebody I knew
wouldn't
like
work.
shared it, and then it showed up on my feed. I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
I was like, everything about this screams like lie.
Yeah,
Like,
with,
not
with
true.
the state that those people are in now and the age and so on, they couldn't necessarily recapture the energy because those movies are very energetic and almost youthful in a way, but more energetic. I don't know that you could do those movies like with the same.
Yeah, it would have to be like
Yeah,
the sons and the daughters.
but this Linda Hamilton, man, she looks fucking like she's been working out.
She does, man.
61, she looks great.
Veins popping.
Oh man,
Oh.
she scares the shit out of me in the second movie. Like she'll fucking.
Oh yeah,
take
she was
you
very
out.
she was a soldier.
Psycho.
Oh man, when she takes the fucking syringe and pumps it into that solution, that Drano thing, and sticks it to his neck and pushes it. What does she go? She pulls it out and she pushes it. All she has to do is push it. It's right in his vein. She's already stuck it in his neck.
She was badass.
Fucking drop him. Open the fucking door. Oh, she
That was crazy.
breaks the guy's fucking kneecap.
She was like crazy intense in that film.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's so good.
That was
She
made it
was
good.
great. Yeah, because you wouldn't expect that from the first one. That's what's so great about the second one is they elevate it. Like here it is, Sarah Connor, that actress, Linda Hamilton. What if she didn't have that range? You couldn't really tell from the first one that she had the range and it could really do that in the second one. But her character is completely different. But the same actress was able to actually pull it off.
And I haven't seen her in any other film where she's given like an intense performance.
Not like that. Not
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. I don't think not like that. I mean, I think that's her
Not
best.
like that,
Obviously,
yeah.
that's what she's most known for, and I think it's for what I've seen of her. That's her best role.
Yeah.
James Cameron also has that ability to just like.
Oh, she's great in Dante's
Yeah.
Peak.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
actually
She
really
was
like
in
that
I know you love that
movie,
movie.
Dante's
You love
Peak.
those destruction movies.
Oh, she
I
was
also
in
like
Dante's
Daylight.
Peak.
Daylight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he just said.
Oh,
You know he
that's-
just said that, right?
No, I didn't.
Please know you. You didn't hear him say it 3 seconds ago, and that's
No,
what
I
we're-
did not. I was searching. It's
It's searching time.
This is why. This is
This
why I don't
is
fuck around on my phone.
Cyberdyne. This is
Yeah.
Cyberdyne, man.
You criticize Neil for fucking being on his phone, and you do this shit. You got an iPad
You guys
and
bring
a
up a
laptop.
question, I research it.
But you have to multitask. You got to pay attention to us while we're doing
Oh
this.
fuck no, I don't have to pay attention to you guys.
Oh
Let's
man,
go.
I
I'm good.
hate you.
I'm good.
I hate you.
What is that you're holding?
It looks like a chopstick. Why do you have
So check this
chopsticks
out.
sitting
So-
on this table?
I love the fact I'm ready. I hate the fact that there's so much conversation over this so early because there's
Yeah, it's
nothing
too early.
truly out there about it.
It's like what, a
You know-
year and a half away?
Yeah, it's
2
coming out a
years?
year from
Yeah.
now, I think.
It's like somebody making a cake, but it's hollow on the inside.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Okay.
So you're
It's
like,
true.
hey,
It's a
I'm gonna cut the
vacuum.
cake,
Yeah.
and there's
It's a
nothing
vacuum.
there.
Yeah, it's
You
coming
know,
out November
it's-
22nd, 2019.
19, yeah.
So we're talking about a year and a half from
We're
now.
talking about it because those photos leaked of Linda Hamilton.
That's why.
in
Yeah, no,
costume,
no,
and
I
she
know.
looks
And they
But
are
great.
I
leaked.
think-
They are leaked photos. So yeah, they're not officially released, but
No.
it got me more excited. I'll be honest. I saw that image.
I hope it
and
takes-
something about it. I was like, yeah.
I hope they
Like,
respond
yes.
to it
That's
and
what I would
they do
expect.
something to give more information.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I hate like.
But I also like not knowing what the movie's about yet. I want to almost kind of just go into it blind.
Yeah,
and
I
be like,
don't.
what's
I
this
hate.
movie
I,
about?
ha- I hate because it's so. There's so much time between now and when the movie comes out.
I know it's a year and a half.
I don't like.
I don't even want to
having
watch the trailer.
Hey, we're coming out
it
with
does come out.
Terminator.
I'm gonna watch it.
We're coming out the next Terminator film 2 years from now. I'm like, oh, well, fuck.
Yeah, and then you have
Bro,
to basically
I'm not
keep
gonna
your
spend
excitement.
next 2 years,
Yeah.
waiting for this shit.
I know, and trying to gobble up every little
Exactly.
leak
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
what I don't like about
No,
it.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I
It's
hate
okay.
that.
We'll have Avengers 7 by then or something.
You're an asshole.
Dude, I saw this. It's just a total. I don't know why it's bringing this Avengers thing up, but they there was like some tweet where who the hell was it? It was like Chris Pratt or one of them. We're basically discussing like how the theories of how they're going to essentially bring everybody back.
Yeah,
they're going
they're
to
all
undo
gonna be-
everything that happened in the. And I was like,
No, but they wouldn't just. That's
That's what
a
I
major
fucking
leak.
said.
That's not true.
That's
You
what
didn't
I
even
fucking
read,
said.
You read a headline.
No
or
one's
something.
dead. They're gonna kill like characters nobody gives a shit about. That like are basically like the worst characters in the entire thing. Anyway, if they do kill anyone,
There are no worst characters.
And I'm
They're
like,
all
that's
the
such a
greatest
cop out. I feel like I got
characters ever.
tricked. I feel like somebody tricked me into giving them money.
It could be
You're
where
a
they
fucking
bring it.
exact. You like
Anyway,
Ghostbusters 2 more than
anyway.
Ghostbusters 1, so
What?
your argument is null and void.
Who doesn't?
It could be
Most
where
of the
they.
population.
Well, I'm not gonna deepen this conversation just because it's off topic.
But anyway,
I don't know.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Of course you are.
Of course I am.
That's your go-to thing.
That
It's
is
like,
my
I
go-to
haven't
thing.
figured
I
out what
am.
I'm going to say yet, so I'm just going to say
No,
I'm
it's not
excited.
that I haven't figured out. It's I'm
you know,
excited. Why
I'm
can't I
like-
just fucking
I'm-
be excited?
I'm like, mass
Why does
genocide.
everything to him has to go
I'm
into
like, mass
this-
genocide.
No,
You're like,
no,
I'm
it's
excited.
it's a good because when Genesis was announced, I didn't care. The
Right.
fact that James Cameron has come back and Linda Hamilton has come back and
That-
James
that
Cameron
makes
is
me
on board,
excited, yeah.
that makes me excited.
Thank
so
you.
there's a good reason to be
100%.
excited
Thank you.
for this.
100%.
Because
It
this
doesn't
could
have to
just
go
be
beyond that.
Terminator Genesis 2 with Amelia Clark and
Yeah.
the guy from
I gotta say though,
Die
Amelia
Hard.
Jai
Clark
Courtney.
did very
Jai
well.
Courtney, who's a good actor. I think
Yeah,
he's a
he's
good
good.
actor.
Yeah,
Amelia
like
Clark
how
did
we-
very well. As
She
Sarah
did. I
Connor.
thought she was good.
really
I
good.
thought he
Sarah
was
Connor.
good. And I
It's
like
a
seeing the
solid
redo
movie.
of the whole scene from the first film where he's like running through the department store. He gets the Nike sneakers.
Yeah.
I liked how they kind of redid that and like reshot it, and then they had a twist ending to it or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this next one, because the first two are masterpieces and the later films are entertaining and are good, but the first two are masterpieces and classic films. Are you fucking?
The second film
You're
is
such a
definitely a
goddamn
masterpiece.
troll.
I don't know.
You haven't seen. I fucking hate you on so many levels.
First film is a great movie.
no, first one's a
Wait, let
masterpiece.
me be Nick. Well, if there wasn't a first one, there wouldn't be a second one.
That's what I said.
That's what you both said. I never said that.
Oh,
Yes,
you've
yes,
never
yes.
said that. You just keep saying that first one's a masterpiece.
No, first one's a fucking masterpiece. It's really fucking good, man. When was the last time you saw the first one?
I
deep
actually
in
watched
that.
it recently. Rewatched
did?
it recently.
It's
good.
really-
it is
it is really
actually.
good, yeah.
It's
It's a
a
good
whole
film.
different
It's a good
tone.
film.
It's a
Yeah,
whole
that's what I'm
different
saying.
It
So
is.
it's very different, and but I think it's a fucking masterpiece. And you can see the hunger in it, and you can see all that. Yes, it
Yeah.
has stop motion at the end with the exoskeleton,
Which is whatever.
which is whatever because that's the technology they had at that point.
Yeah.
And then he decided, to
Shit,
go
Jurassic
CG
Park
later.
was almost all stop
Almost.
motion.
And these guys were like,
That would've been a
"Hey,
completely
we have an
different fucking
idea.
film."
We have a fucking idea." And he's like, "Let me see it." And he's like, "Holy shit, this is gonna
I
revolutionize."
still watch that
Yeah.
movie and I'm like, this looks as good.
That first scene
Still.
with the Brontosaurus
Velociraptors.
is just amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah,
That scene, the
But
Velociraptor, the
T-Rex
T-Rex,
in the rain.
all of those scenes like still look to me. I don't know why they still look as good
I
as
think
modern
most
CG.
Oh,
I-
completely.
I-
25 years later.
I
This
have
is the
no
25th
idea.
anniversary of Jurassic Park this year.
Yeah.
And it's still it's I watched that and I'm like
I don't know what happened.
This is
it's
the type
it's
of
an
shit.
anomaly because
Yep.
the CG after Jurassic Park was not as good.
But even T2, like that CG, like the T1000 and everything like
Oh,
that,
it
still looks
still
great.
holds up,
but you
yeah.
watch other movies like Lawnmower Man, which came around the same time period, like same
Spawn.
within a year of that Spawn,
Yeah.
and they're terrible. So isn't it funny? It's like you could do it, people just weren't doing it. Like
I don't know
not
what it
everybody's
was.
doing
It was just something.
It's probably a demand for perfection and a making sure that it was ready.
I don't get the impression that Spielberg's like a perfectionist.
No,
I
I'm not talking about Spielberg. I'm talking about James Cameron for T2, but because he's a perfectionist.
Oh, yeah.
Spielberg was.
I think maybe the guys.
He
the
could demand the
animators-
best of the best. He could demand the best of the best.
Well, maybe at ILM the animators were like, we really want to like sell this.
Yes.
So let's do the best job we could possibly do. And they actually, all the guys who did the stop motion, all those animators came to the CG guys and were like, this is how you do animal animation. This is how you capture the motion.
It was very collaborative, and they were willing, and they were willing. Even Stan Winston, everybody was willing to step back.
We should do a Jurassic Park retrospective.
We should, because
With
25
the
years and
advent
Jurassic
of,
World 2 just came out.
Jurassic World 2,
Yeah, we should do a Jurassic Park retrospective. I agree.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was gonna say I'm excited, but I
I'm
feel
so
like
glad you caught
I am.
yourself. Holy
No,
shit!
I was gonna say. What,
I'm gonna make
what
a
is wrong?
T-shirt for
I
you
think
saying,
everything to him has
"I'm
to have a
excited."
meaning afterward. People
So
can't just be
excited.
excited. I'm excited to see James
You should
Cameron,
be.
to see Linda Hamilton back in action.
I am too.
Together.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited about
Why
that.
don't you just change it up a little bit and say, I am excited, or just say,
'Cause I don't want
like, I'm thrilled, or I'm really anticipating this in an excited manner. You know, like, just change it up a little bit, you fucking
One,
repetitive
because
piece of
I
shit.
don't have to.
The only thing
Two, 'cause
I'm
I
like
don't
a
need to.
little concerned with is Tim Miller, even though Deadpool was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it's his
The
like,
experience.
only.
True, but James Cameron also, that was like his only real thing, the first Terminator before he did.
No, I know.
He did Piranha 2 before.
Look at
that.
it this way: he
hoping.
proved something to James Cameron.
He did whatever
So,
he
let's
sold
see
James
what
Cameron
happens.
on. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, guys, today. What is he? What is? Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
go ahead. I'm listening.
Thank you,
Go
guys,
ahead.
for joining us. I have no. I tried.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Thank you for joining Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with the number 2. I feel like jumping out of my chair and start shooting something. I don't have a
Wow.
gun, so
All right.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm excited.
You're excited. Wow. Train wreck. I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
You're a train wreck.
I love it.
Awesome.
Ah, so
That's
great.
great.
Wasn't in the first one, too. It was made for the second film.
Yeah.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.